she's the Swiss Army knife of Marvel Snap, or a card that's just trying to do too many things and ends up being good for none of them. See, I think Nico has an incredibly high learning curve that will take a lot of practice and experimentation to pilot for potential flexibility that I'm not convinced is worth the effort. But first of all, hey, who is Nico Minoru? Well, she was in the Hulu show Runaways, which we'll count that as canon in the MCU, I guess. In the comics, Nico is the daughter of dark wizards who are part of a supervillain group called the Pride. Now, the kids of the Pride, upon realizing that their parents were villains, decide to run away, learn how to use their abilities, which of course they inherited from their villainous parents, and ultimately defeat the Pride. Nico Minoru, she has an aptitude to magic, able to cast spells by herself. Some spells, she usually though relies on the Staff of One, a staff powered by blood magic, which emerges from her chest whenever she bleeds. The more blood offered, the more potent that spell, and the Staff of One can only cast any spell once. Attempts to cast a spell a second time result in either unpredictable results or nothing. Bearing that in mind, it's pretty cool how they incorporated this lore into a card in Marvel Snap. Nico Minoru is a 1 energy 2 power card with an on-reveal ability that changes every turn. There are 7 different spells that could happen, all on-reveal abilities, and all happen after you play your next card. Now, the spells that show up will be at random, and you won't get the same spell repeated in a game. So they're kind of comparing it to Thanos in that it's one card that can give you multiple effects, but with Thanos you actually get those cards with the effects in your deck, right? That of course makes your deck a little bit fatter, which means you might not get the cards you want to draw. With Nico, I guess the trade-off is, yes, you get this toolkit of effects, but she doesn't fatten up your deck. Instead, her card cycles through these effects every turn, which was how the original Snow Guard was. Remember? The original version of Snow Guard would cycle between her bear and hawk form, making her totally unreliable and was honestly one of the worst cards for a long time. Now with Nico, she cycles through 7 effects, which means in a regular 6-turn game, you might not even get the effect you really want. Okay, it's easy to write her off as totally unreliable, but let's see where we can fit her. I mean, she's a 1 cost, so she's not a heavy energy commitment. And remember, all these spells are on reveal and will happen after you play your next card. Let's take a look at these spells. Spell 1, it becomes a demon. Spell 2, destroy it and draw 2 cards. Spell 3, move it 1 location to the right. Spell 4, give it +2 power. Spell 5, replace that card's location. Spell 6, add a copy of it to your hand. Spell 7, double this card's power. Okay, so looking at the spell list, the first synergy that comes to mind is small cards that scale up in power, you know, like your Deadpools, Human Torch, and maybe even Kitty Pryde. And here's why, okay? Typically, if you get those cards late, they're kind of useless. So swap it for a demon or destroy it for 2 other cards that you might need for your combo. Hey, some of these cards love being destroyed too. Deadpool, right, to activate his ability. Human Torch, so you can Phoenix Force him back. And speaking of Human Torch, he loves being moved. The +2 power, everyone loves, but especially cards that double in power. Replacing a location is kind of situational, but can come in super clutch. And adding a copy of a souped up Deadpool to my hand, don't mind if I do. The doubling of Nico's own power, that spell's kind of lame. She's only 2 power to begin with. But you see where I'm going with this, right? Like, that's the first deck I try Nico out in, some kind of Deadpool, Human Torch, Phoenix Force, Destroy archetype, as well as these low-cost flood decks. I think that's where Nico might shine. Hey, let me know what combos you discover with Nico. What I'm sure of, though, is that Nico is going to take a lot of experimentation by the entire Snap community before we figure out if she's too random to be useful or actually pretty damn clutch. Translation, you might want to wait a couple of days before committing 6,000 collector's tokens to her. Me, personally, I'm going to open Spotlight caches for her because I want to get this awesome Kitty Pryde variant too. But knowing my luck, I'll probably get this flaming chicken first. Also, how about this Nico variant? Dang! Yeah, that's way too many Spotlight caches or tokens to commit though. But like I said, I think the best move for Nico is to wait and see if